There is somehow still more shortcuts. Mario Kart World has now been out for 1 full year. And the world records for these tracks have just continued to get crazier. Tracks we thought that surely were nearly optimized keep having new discoveries and breakthroughs that completely change how the track plays. This may be the version of Mario Kart with the most freedom of movement and the most rewarding for creative thinking. So it's no wonder that each day the time trial community continues to step up these world records. And exciting news! I managed to reclaim my world record on Dino Jungle with Aristocrat King Boo. More on that later. We're finally reacting to all of the world records again in Mario Kart World. This has been 6 months since the last time that I've done this, and let's see what has changed. So this is Mario Bros. Circuit by Atsuki. The last time that I looked at these 6 months ago, it was about 0.6 seconds slower. So let's see what's changed. Okay, right trick, left trick. So re-land on that rail. Wow, this is crazy. You gotta trick at a specific spot, because those are destructible boards that, you know, if you don't run into it quite right, it basically feels random what happens when you jump on them. So these are, man, Mario Kart World time trials go insane. And there used to be a wall thing right there that they got rid of. I don't know what's going on with that. Why was that found out to be slower? I kind of like that wall thing. Whoever discovered it was slower. Come on, that's not cool. Okay, and how do we end the track then? I assume we must be going on that green rail to get some boosted airtime. Yeah, and then jump off at the end of the rail for a little bit extra of a boost. Next up, we have Crown City by Pluto City, and this is improved by about 0.7 seconds since 6 months ago, which is a pretty big improvement for such an optimized track. I think I know where the improvement is, but we'll see it when we get there. Oh, interesting, a lot of airtime on that. I wonder if that preserves the boost longer. But one thing I want to point out is that Pluto and Atsuki both had the sticker for their track. Are they trying to say something? That they love these tracks? I think that's really cool, though. The stickers really add personality. Okay, so one thing I want to pay attention to, that I want you to pay attention to on Crown City, besides these cool shortcuts, is boosted charge jumps. So this is a regular charge jump there, but watch this. This right here is a boosted charge jump. So when you land in a long trick boost such as this, if you charge a charge jump and release it as soon as it's available, it's a tight timing, then you will carry the boost into the air, and it actually is a little bit faster. Plus, if you get to trick on other stuff afterwards, you preserve that speed for even longer. So also bouncing on these cars gets you coins. So yeah, a lot of this run, which is also a lot of what you'll see in some other runs like Sky High Sundae, is we're trying to get these boosts to, like they don't last long enough, but you can preserve them and carry them every time you enter the air. So a lot of this run is just trying to get the speed boosts to last just long enough so that you're in the air by the time that you get the boost. Oh! Hitting the thing! Wait a minute. Glider skip! I didn't even know that's how it was done. I just know it's really, really tough. So I've seen this before, but crazy seeing it in a world record run. That entire glider stuff on the left is just obsolete now for time trials because of glider skip. And then hit the tree, yep. So that must be where most of the time save is coming from. I doubt that's all the time save, right? Small optimizations get made all the time, but that's such an insane technique. I do that with a golden mushroom or a bullet sometimes, but I would never just go for it raw dog in the glider skip. Nice one, Pluto. But still not faster than the glitch world record that I made an entire video on. Now we have Whistlestop Summit by the GOAT of Whistlestop Summit, Jorge, or Dot is the in-game name. This one is only improved by about 0.1 seconds. And we start off with a time trial strategy, going to the left there, doing a little extra trick on... Okay, by the way, this is all gonna happen too fast for me to explain, so I'll explain the important parts, but lap 1, we go all over the rails here to get coins, and then here, this is a very difficult strategy, doing that blue mini-turbo gap jump. You need to take the grass shortcut before, and that's the fastest way, but it's really tough, and people usually don't go for that one online, because usually you want an orange mini-turbo for the gap jump. But then we got this crazy ending shortcut. Crazy as always, but we've seen it before. And I wonder if I'll actually spot what's different, because it might just be small optimizations. But one thing you really want to pay attention to for why this run is so optimized... Oh yeah, we're doing this the opposite direction on lap 2 for more coins. So almost all of this entire run is either in a speed boost or currently in the air carrying a boost from a boost you were just in. Nearly the entire run. And so much of this run also is on rails. And that's why you're seeing a baby character here. When there are rails, then every combo has the same base speed. But because of a quirk of balancing in this game with the coin curve, lightweights get a bigger boost out of the first few coins before you get to 20. So what that means is, if you did exactly the same inputs but you played as Bowser, you'd just be way, way, way slower. So that's why on tracks like this in Airship Fortress, you get baby characters. And if you want to learn this ending shortcut, there's a much more consistent version I have a tutorial on for. It's a very important shortcut for online play. Oh, huge wall thing at the end. Man, I love watching that, but it's just so much sensory overload. Especially since it's been a year already, these records are not going to be improving by that much. We saw 0.1 on the previous one. I couldn't even spot the difference. But now, DK Spaceport by Optic, we're doing camera tricks, because it doesn't matter, unless that actually helps with alignment. But this is improved by 0.5. We got the little rail attach into this shortcut. I think that barely saves anything, by the way. But it's really, really difficult, and obviously for time trials, that's what you want to be doing. DK Spaceport, definitely lower on my tier list. And oh, new strategy, where you charge jump into the boost there. It's actually really hard to get like just the right amount of air there to make that faster. But you used to just charge jump over the ramp, a boosted charge jump, of course, and now you actually hit the ramp, which is interesting. Oh, that was interesting. So on that last trampoline bounce pad, it was an air trick, not a trick that gives you more height. Because you can trick in the air in this game, but it gives you a weaker boost. So you don't really want to do that often, but if you're going to be going into the air afterwards, after your boost, when it's still active, then the boost length doesn't matter at that point. So I think we're going to see that again right here. Here will be an air trick, yeah. Because we go directly into the mushroom boost. So there's no point getting extra airtime from jumping when you could just do an air trick, and the short boost is enough. Glad we're using walls there. I remember early world records did not use the wall. Let's see this. Holy double edge trick. Man, we're not going for that crazy thing on the wall anymore. There used to be something different. But I've heard Optic is like insane. Okay, just insane in general, but insane at this track and is very, very good at these strategies. Very few other players can pull these off consistently. Desert Hills by Jacob. In the last 6 months, this has improved by about 0.6, which is pretty significant. I wonder if there are any routing or strategy changes. Okay, a little counter drift at the start, looking like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We should be going for the rock here at the start. Yeah, okay, so this is a lap 1 strategy. Oh, not even going for the coin. Interesting. Going for the other coin. Going for the coin on the ground. I thought that rock strategy was for the coin, but I guess not. Okay, so here, this is an insane alignment, especially with low handling. I do that with 2 mushrooms by getting on the wall way later. Okay, and we've used 2 mushrooms on lap 1. This is the same as before. You might be wondering, how are we doing the big shortcut? Well, this is part of why I think Desert Hills is so much better than before. Early into the game, a lot of people ranked Desert Hills very low, especially playing online, because it's very much a bagging track where you want to get items. But look at this. Shroomless shortcut here. And we're going to see another one here. These are both so fun to do. They're not easy. They're not like the hardest thing in the world either, but they're not easy. And it's so fun to front run Desert Hills, especially knowing the odds are kind of stacked against you. Except it's not really, because people will bag a lot and then they will make distance from you. I love front running this track, but you have to get all these things just right. And then here, a boosted charge jump into boosted air time. That's just a boosted trick. Especially on big jumps, the boosted trick saves more. Okay, so we're going here again. Crazy stuff. Oh, this thing. Oh! Nice. That ending part is like basically luck. You have to land very specifically, get a wall ride. It's the most insane thing ever. I've never even done it once. That's crazy to have that right at the end of the time trial. What a toxic game mode. Shy Guy Bazaar by Zay, the GOAT of Shy Guy Bazaar. And this is improved by about 0.2 seconds. Oh, we got that crazy strategy again. Wow. Yeah. Something I will never go for online. I tried learning it, and it was very, very tough, I must say. I will keep it for time trials. Wow, that's a really clean one. I'm so used to the way I do it online, and it's a bit slower because it's safer, but that's such a clean line through. Okay, and then this boost carrying into the boost panel, getting 3 coins here. Oh, there might have been a rail strategy change on lap 2 and 3. Okay, and then this. That looks easy, but is actually really hard to land just right. You have to have landed for long enough. Otherwise, it counts you as in a glider when you trick, and it won't give you the speed boost from it. It cheats you out of the speed boost. Unbelievable. We paid $80 for this game, and there's no speed boost. Okay, so that bump off of the wall above the building, you'll probably see it again on lap 3. That's such a clean bump. Oh, wow. Pole trick. Charge jump. Boosted charge jump. Yeah, left trick, right trick. It used to just be a forward trick. I think I see why. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see it again on lap 3 and we'll confirm if that's the reason. But I think it's because the left rail is a bit longer. And you might think, oh, but if you left trick, right trick, aren't you taking a longer path to your destination compared to if you just forward trick? That's true. Yes, you do take a longer path, but left tricks and right tricks are faster. Like, they keep you going forward at the same speed. They just give you extra left and right movement. So it's basically, yeah, so like the left rail is like slightly longer. Yeah, and then that's so funny. Something you never would have guessed in the beginning of this game because we were doing forward tricks at the end of that stuff, not realizing that left tricks and right tricks are just so fast on rails. Wario Stadium by Nugget, and this is the only run under 2 minutes. That's crazy. Congrats to Nugget. And the last time we saw this, it was about 0.6 seconds slower. Okay, so a boosted charge jump on the coin there. Being at 1 coin is a big difference from being at 0 coins in this game. It's not like every coin is equal. Oh, double left trick. What? I haven't seen that one. Is that what pushed this under the edge? Crazy. Oh, okay. Lap 1 used to, I'll show it on screen. Lap 1 used to go for this crazy thing there to get onto the coin rail. But like, we're not going for the coin rail now. We're just going to be at lower coins. Obviously, you know, 1 extra shortcut going up to the rail shortcut, but fewer coins the whole run. And this is worth it, I guess. That's one interesting thing about time trials is like, you know, you have to route the whole run. It's not just about each section because coins are a thing and coins make you go a little bit faster. So interesting. Okay, that's really, really cool. But the coin strategy, honestly, is like what's baffling me because we're missing out on so many coins in order to do this, and somehow this is still worth it. Man, coin routes are so confusing in this game. Oh! Okay, so in the time trial, the coin got taken there on lap 1. So it's gone. But that slight coin boost really matters. It gives you a boosted charge jump and makes it easier to climb the wall. But something about one of the updates that Nintendo made is I guess they made it easier to attach from a wall directly to a rail. It applies to a few spots on some tracks, including this one, and I guess that's one of the spots. Well, I know that's one of the spots, but I guess that makes a big difference here because now you can go for this shortcut coinless on lap 2 and 3, whereas before you only have to do this on lap 3. Now it's like a much higher success rate than before. And by the way, that rail shortcut saves a whole second. So I guess it makes sense having a fewer coins is worth it, but I don't know why it wasn't worth it before. Great run. Under 2 minutes! That must have been so crazy to watch as they're getting the run because it's so close. Airship Fortress by Lego Wee Man. This is improved by about 0.3 seconds only. Already such an optimized track that I'm surprised we're seeing a 0.3 time save. I don't know too much about what's going on here, but I'll try my best to explain. So So first, we're going for coins on lap 1. And this, again, just a constant theme is doing tricks and then getting a boost and then jumping during that boost to preserve it throughout the air. Oh, and then there's a little hop there I want to explain as well. Okay, I'm getting refreshed on all of this. I will oh, that hop too, I think that's also for preserving the mini turbo boost. We've seen that a long time ago, but I don't actually know the exact reason why it saves time. I just know it saves an incredibly small amount of time. Okay, going for a few coins, shortcut. Oh, almost perpendicular to the rail. Okay, watch the way we're jumping off the end of the rail here. It's like, that one wasn't even a trick, it was a hop. But it's fine because it's a short trick boost and you're gonna jump soon anyway, so getting a long trick boost doesn't matter. The Rocky Wrench head! Okay, and then this I want to explain. See that little hop before starting the boosted charge jump? When you do that hop, that was also a thing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, by the way. You can't get a trick boost while your trick animation is still active. So if you get a low trick like that, then what you can do is immediately hop when you land. It delays the trick boost, and I'll show you on the next lap what that's actually doing. But it's turning your boosted charge jump, instead of from jumping on a downhill, which is slower, it turns it into jumping on a flat ground. And that makes all the difference in a time trial world record. So we'll watch that again right here. We'll hop to... Oh, wait, it's different on lap 3. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right, because on lap 3, we're not going for coins, so we go for the rail on the side for extra stuff. Okay. You're going to have to rewind yourself to watch that on lap 2 if you want to see what I'm talking about. Oh, man. Yep, time trials. There's different stuff on every lap, right? Because if this was like a regular online race, you might actually want to go for those coins on lap 3. Or maybe don't go for the coins earlier. It's like so many different decisions. Oh, this is the stuff I've been excited for. 2.1 second improvement. World record on DK Pass by Mikkel. Oh man, 2.1 seconds in the last 6 months. I knew this track would have something insane. Okay, let's see where it is. Wait, I know what it's gonna be. Do you know what it's gonna be? Let's find out. Very, very clean cut there, but that's... Yeah, we're not going for the wall anymore. Edge trick, boosted charge jump, trick on this double trick. Trick on the ground to get a boosted trick. That was a double trick, by the way. I don't know what's the point of that. I guess to trick later and grab the coin? I don't know. Crazy stuff. Are we going to see this on all 3 laps? That's a really tough strategy. I think there was a harder version that was discovered first, though. Yeah, I think there was like some phantom trick. You can trick on a little piece of bump in the ground that you can't even see. Super inconsistent. Basically, quantum mechanics is what people called it. But... in this case, we're doing a boosted charge jump from this edge trick to get onto this pole. And I wonder if that's faster or not, but surely that's easier. Okay, so that trick, single trick here. I saw the hop come out before that, so maybe a double trick was attempted. Not too sure, though. This is my first time seeing this. I love this one. Stuff I'll never go for online. Oh, man, I still remember, like, in the early days of this game, back when we were still going for the tree shortcut, that's not even in the world record anymore, but that we still go for online. I remember calling that a crazy shortcut that, you know, most people, almost nobody was going for it online at that point, but I learned it and I was going for it online and I'm like, look, I'm being so hype. But now I can't do this online. This is impossible. It's possible, but people have done it online. Skill issue, but like, it's really hard. This is not reliable. Oh man, and to get the perfect alignment there, you could barely see it or hear it, but there was an extra left trick before the final tree, and that helped to push the alignment a bit more. Wow, crazy run. I love this. I remember when it was crazy that this was below 2 minutes, but now it's way below. Starview Peak by Zay. I can't believe this is one of the ones that is improved by the most, but this is about 0.7 seconds improvement from 6 months ago. We got cow. Let's see, edge trick. Oh, I was kind of waiting for a second one, but I guess it makes sense there isn't one. Because you have to get that rainbow mini turbo there. And then the boosted charge jump, of course. All right, now this. Let's see, mushroom here? Yeah, for the shroomless shortcut later. But you have to go wide for the coin, you might think. But you have to go wide in general. I'll show you more on lap 2 and 3. So booster trick here. Boosted airtime there. Wow, and then this. The physics here are so funky that it lets you take that shroomless. Oh, right, and then the thing I don't go for online, because very risky. If you get hit by anything, you fall off by doing that, but if you just drive and steer, it's a bit slower. Now, I didn't talk too much about combos, but the reason why this combo is good here is because a lot of this track, I don't know how much of this track, but a lot of this track counts as terrain. There's 3 different ground types. There's ground, terrain, or rough, and there's water. And the icy sections are actually terrain, I believe. Like, at least I know, like, okay, it's water here, but I think this part's terrain because it's icy and a bit slippery. Crazy shortcut. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, I never really knew the explanation for this before, so I didn't explain it in previous world record reactions, but the one technique that's been known for a very long time, which is the Rainbow Mini Turbo charged into the glider, that, the reason why it's faster actually is because you go from a regular section, like see how there's no boost coming out of the exhaust right now, and then we go to a blue boosted section. So when you're in the glider, you can't quickly accelerate from normal speed to boosted speed. So watch the sparks after the end, the exhaust, it's blue now, because we're now in a boosted section. And that happens midway through the glider. So if you carry a long speed boost into the glider, as soon as you hit the blue section, you will almost instantly accelerate up to the new blue boosting speed. But if you don't do that and just get a trick off the glider, you go very slow for a lot of that blue part because you haven't accelerated up yet. So that's why it's faster, and I think that's really cool. Sky High Sundae by Optic. This has improved by about 0.2 seconds, which is a lot because the last time I looked at this, it hadn't improved in many, many months. One of the only ones that was really stuck, and now a breakthrough has occurred on Sky High Sundae. Let's watch it together. I think this just happened a couple of days ago, as of the time of recording this. A wall right there to get a bit more of the boost. So instead of 1 boost there, it's 2 boosts. Very, very slight improvement. Honestly, that probably, my guess is that saves less than 0.1. Then we're going for the triple wall jump. You need some coins for that, but luckily there are a lot of coins. Like, I think you need, I don't know, maybe at least 10 coins or something. That's what I go for online. Okay, then we're trying to get all the way up to 20 coins because it is a speed combo, so that's very important. So this is a bit different on lap 2 and 3, not going for the coin. Charge jump there. Boosted charge jump over here. I wish I got to be surprised by that, but I've seen that. Skipping a coin. Oh, there's one right here. Oh, man. Routing. Speedrunners. Big brain. Look at this. Triple wall jump. I love this. That extra little trick in the air before reattaching to the wall for the final time is to get lower on the wall, because I talked about when you're in an active trick boost, you cannot... Sorry, when you're in an active trick animation, you cannot get a trick boost. Well, you also cannot get a wall ride. So that's why sometimes you'll see these extra air tricks. It's not just for alignment, it's not just for fun. Sometimes there is an actual speed purpose for it. And this is to get lower on the wall so that we can get back down to the ground sooner. We'll see it again here. There's an extra air trick between 2 of these wall attachments. That one. Yeah, that one slightly delays when you attach to the wall. And then going around this, I don't know, that's crazy. Optic! Turning the camera, you were so close to hitting the boards. If you didn't get the record from that, that's deserved. Wario Shipyard by Another. This is improved by about 0.6 seconds. And I gotta say, I love the amount of heavyweights that show up in world record time trials because the speed stat really matters. However, when you play online, acceleration and handling matter a lot too. So, okay, so let's see what has changed. 2 coins there, nice, nice. I always try for that online, I usually don't get it. My bad, skill issue. Okay, so far everything's looking the same. There's been a shroomless shortcut discovered here, but this must be the best mushroom spot. Hitting the wall? Wow. I mean, I'm sure that doesn't lose time, but that doesn't look like the best line to me. Getting the orange mini turbo on the wall, nice, before tricking off. They charge very quickly, so it's important to pay attention to that stuff. Alright, are we going to see anything new around here? Edge trick? I don't think that was there before. Oh, we used to go onto the wall and then onto the rail. Now it's just... And then blue mini turbo. Okay, interesting. So, the record from before was attach to the wall, drive onto the rail, and then get 1 trick. But now it's 2 tricks on the rail, and then instead of an orange mini turbo, it's a blue mini turbo after. Nice! Because I find that to be easier personally, and I always knew it was barely a time difference. So that's just what I was going for online, and turns out that's the fastest thing to do. Nice! Nice. I was doing it for the wrong reasons, but I ended up being correct. Oh, this! Oh, nice. Complete water avoidance, kind of. But not having to go left to get onto that rail. Okay, that's interesting because I know there's been some strat development on that side of the track, but one big problem with it and why you don't see people go for that sort of thing online is because of the water cycle, the wave cycles. If the water is too high, it won't let you attach to that little wall at the end. So I guess we'll see if they go for it again on lap 3, because obviously the reason they don't go for it on lap 1 is because the rail has coins, right? But let's see if they do it on lap 3. Is it cycle permitting? And I feel like it might be because, yes, it is, yes. Because like the world record improved by so much, surely this has to be part of it. Nice, new strats on Wario Shipyard, not just going for the rail. But can I do it online? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm excited to react to this one. This is Alberto Koopa Troopa Beach. This is improved by 0.9 seconds since last time we looked at it. And there have been some new strategy developments. I never looked at the world record, but I do know that something new has been found. Yeah, this is new. Trick. Get a coin there, do this shroomless, and have the perfect line for those 2 coins. Incredible. And like, I think that's one you can go for online, but it's pretty tough. It's not one I've quite learned yet because I have a strategy on Koopa Troopa Beach that involves a lot of the shortcuts. Wow, we're going for it again. Wait, hang on. How many times are we... Right, we only have 3 mushrooms, and that's the best mushroom spot. So, surely we're not going for it again? No, but you can still do that and then do the ending shortcut on the last 3 laps. Nice. Yeah, let's do it. 3 times and then ending shortcut. Yeah, so this was the previous best mushroom spot, like, you know, day 1 Mario Kart World, before we discovered you could charge jump to take a huge cut over the second cut, which is... Oh? Wait, why? Hang on, I don't understand. Is it too hard? Maybe it's too hard. Maybe... I don't know, we're not getting more coins or anything. What? Huh? I don't get it. Was Alberto behind the ghost or something and had to risk it? Why are we doing it 4 out of 5 times? What happened on lap 4? Someone explain this to me. Faraway Oasis by MX5. Also, it is actually James. And this is, James is the GOAT of Faraway Oasis. Also, I didn't mention Alberto is the GOAT of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but also Koopa Troopa Beach. So, this is improved by like 0.7 seconds. Yeah, 2 edge tricks there instead of 1 like before. Charge jump there on lap 1. Okay, I think something has changed over here. Yeah, that's so interesting. Somehow yeah, I was looking for the long trick boost. That was a long trick boost. So somehow still got a trick off the rail, but because you're moving sideways on the rail, it just counts as ground instead of attaching you to the rail. So the old method of doing that turn skip was by going to the right side. And that's still what I do online. I don't know how hard this version is. But this version's pretty intense. It doesn't look easy to me. Okay, edge trick, yeah. So before it was orange mini turbo, single edge trick. Now it's 2 edge tricks, which means more driving, less drifting. All right, let's see this again. No, we're going right side this time. Oh, that's for lap 1. Lap 1, you get an extra coin going to the left side because you can ride the first rail for longer, I think. Interesting. And that saves 0.7? Or was something else changed? Maybe something with the big water bounce, the super splash, which I haven't even commented on because there's so much to talk about here, but that, obviously, when it first got discovered, was a crazy-looking shortcut. And now, like, you know, the way that it's done in time trials, super risky, right? If you mess up, you might wall ride, or you might start going backwards, which has happened to me, specifically when getting shocked. Like, I get hit by the shock, and then I just go backwards there. So, yeah, the way we do it online is a bit safer. But this is insane, like, getting so low here, not even going that high from the water bounce, and barely coming out of the off-road. One thing that's been really cool about seeing this game from the very start is watching time trials take on a life of its own. Because before, you would get your strategies informed by time trials, but now they're just stuff that you would never do. Peach Beach by Arisugawa, and this is improved by only 0.1. Crazy. Who would have thought that? Yeah, but I mean, Some tracks have improved by this little. I'm giving Peach Beach a hard time, cause it deserves it. Bowser has taken over Peach Beach. But what did you expect? Bowser is the time trial king in this game. Bowser has the most speed. And especially when you're on a water track like this with a lot of straight line driving, it's not like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe where it's always Yoshi because you want to snake for mini turbos. Here, are we getting a rainbow mini turbo? Wow. A lot of grass touched. A boosted charge jump, nice. Innovation. I don't think I'm going to be able to spot what has changed on this one. Alright, 1 coin for a sharp turn. Another 1 coin, yep. Nice trick. Boosted. Oh, Yoshi is canonically dead. Wow, that was mean. Alright, so we need to get up to 20 coins here. That's 2 right there. That's another one right here. Where are we getting the last 6? Well, the only coins available on the track left. You gotta hit these 3 super precisely. And then another 3 right here. I mean, there's not much going on Peach Beach. I get hyped when I get those online. Oh, wow, secret trick spot. I didn't know about that one. I always go for the rail for the extra trick. All right, little charge jump here. Nice. Going for the rail. Oh, big trick boost. Yeah, you don't want to be too close to the left at the top because otherwise it makes you take a terrible line on the next turn. What is this? Oh, that's cool. Okay, that mushroom timing is very important. Some on the water, but even though mushrooms give you a bigger boost on the water, the reason that timing is used is so that you can carry some of that boost into the air, so it actually lasts longer than your typical mushroom. So that's cool, but the thing before it can't save more than 0.1. It just can't, because that's how much the record is improved by. So, Peach Beach, you're still my 30th favorite track in this game. Salty Speedway by Nuggets. This is somehow improved by 1.4 seconds, and I wasn't sure why, but I actually went and watched the previous record just to get myself familiar, and I realized, oh, I actually have seen some of the more recent Salty Speedway world records, and so this makes sense. Because I just enjoy watching these. You can't blame me. The old one is nothing compared to this. Oh, that's a really high trick. And still making it here, wow. Getting a coin on the way down for good measure. All right, should be getting the 3 coins around here, and then lap 2 and 3 will be different. But I want to see, okay, so the mushroom spot. Using the mushroom as late as possible to get this extra boosted trick. And then all of this becomes possible. Trick on the bench, and back. You see why, like, every time a new world record for this one comes out, I actually do watch it. I don't watch most world records, but I will watch Salty Speedway. And let me know in the comments, is this the track with the biggest glow up from day 1 to now? Because I went back and checked some of the polls from my day 1 Mario Kart World release stream, and people hated Salty Speedway. And that was a sentiment. Oh, huge gap. That was a sentiment that was around for maybe a week or 2 until we realized how crazy it was, and it was nothing like this. If you want to go watch back some of the earlier world records, I invite you to, because it was nothing like this one. All that extra trick stuff you can do at the end, crazy stuff. I love it, and Mario Kart World players will always find a way to either be in a boost or have boosted airtime. And as you can see, it's a theme here. If you can get a lot of tricks, a lot of rails, then it's typically better to play a lightweight combo. And if you haven't seen this world record in a long time, like, it used to be heavyweights because we touch a lot of water, but now no, we got the glider, we got this rail thing. Let's see this one more time. Any of these can send you out of bounds. It looks easy. It's just like, oh, just hit R over and over, but no! Rails are the hardest thing in this game, especially when it's that. Dino Jungle by Alberto! Not me, tricked ya. That was done with a glitch, and it wasn't even done by me, it was done by Nightmare. Thank you, Nightmare. Anyway, that was a fun joke. So, I mean, it's actually a real run. It's a glitch that Nintendo needs to patch out, and I will not elaborate further. So, this is Dino Jungle by Alberto, the true Dino Jungle GOAT. And let's take a look. Wow, low dinosaur, and still getting the, like, you need the dinosaur neck. It goes through a cycle. You need it to go up for you to land on the rail, but if you do it exactly with that, I don't know what shenanigans Alberto was up to there, you actually get to still get on the rail because you jump on the dinosaur's head at the end. Crazy stuff. This has only, in the last 6 months, improved by 0.16, and you know what that is? At 60 frames per second in this game, that is 1 frame. Leave it to Alberto to improve a record by 1 frame. That's what Alberto was doing all the time in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And is back at it in Mario Kart World. Okay, so this dinosaur cycle, interesting. You can do a shroomless shortcut actually there on lap 2. It's very tough, but there is... Oh, you're almost running into the dinosaur there. There are this thing called no item time attack, which is the shroomless, no mushroom world records. Those are not like super official because they don't show up on the leaderboards, but that's something people like to do. And on lap 2, you can take that shroomless. That is done in that world record, but not here. Yeah, the dinosaur neck is low every time, so you have to do this every lap. Huh. Interesting. If you're not going for the rail, then you can actually do a different strategy there. Ooh, dinosaur here again. Alright, you know what, Alberto, you win this time. And the other time in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You win every time. Great Question Block Ruins by Speezy the Goat on Great Question Block Ruins. This development I heard about, and it's kind of nuts. Watch this. Okay, it's going to happen on lap 2. We'll talk about it later. So this, obviously, like one of the most iconic tracks in Mario Kart World. Some of the craziest strategies and time trials, stuff you typically wouldn't go for online. And see, like, that boost barely lasts past the trick ramp that we're drifting off of, but that gives boosted airtime, which is good. That definitely matters in time trials. When you're getting a big jump, it matters more, but in time trials, all these little things matters. And here's the box cut. Barely making it around. That's part of why we need the highest handling on this track. Okay, here it is. Here's the new thing. Drift, mini turbo, drift, mini turbo. And you might say, hey, is that not how we always did it? No! No, in fact, no. Mini turbos and drifts are not as fast in this game. And... oh, that almost looked like a mistake there. And steering is very fast. So the way it was done before, I'll show you on screen, is just by steering. That was always faster. It has been since day one. And I don't know what changed to make drifting faster. You have to be incredibly precise to get this, and it hardly saves any time at all. But apparently drifting is faster. So for all of you who drift here and have drifted since day one because you didn't know not to drift, you were right. But also the way you were doing it is slower. Don't do this. Do not copy this unless you're at this level and know exactly what you're doing. Just steer. Just steer. Don't drift there. You're not going to make drifting faster just by feeling it. You're not going to. It's very, very precise. I can't tell you what to do. If you find it more fun, go for it. But you might lose sometimes for it. You probably won't. It's almost never going to matter. But when it does, hear this in your head. Shortcat says, I told you so. And also, Speezy likes to trick at these boost rings. I don't know if that's a Speezy thing or if that's any faster, but it's probably not. Cheep falls by Flurry. So close to under 154. This is improved by about 0.4 seconds since 6 months ago. And I did hear... oh, nice. We're seeing more and more of these counter drifts. Interesting. I did hear about the development that was made here. It should be soon. Yeah, look at that. And then straight into the coin. Okay, I want to see what that line looks like on lap 2, because clearly we have to go wide afterwards, which is fine for the coins. We got Tarzan! I always forget the time trial version is a bit different. It's called Low Branch Tarzan, where they hit the bottom of the first branch by doing a boosted charge jump. Definitely harder than the wall version, the trick into wall version that we go for online. But a little bit faster, and that definitely matters. Okay, so I'm curious how this looks on this lap. I'm so close to the out of bounds to get onto that rail. That's really tough. Okay, interesting. So, oh, that's how they get the good line. Okay, my bad. I should have predicted that. Yeah, I should have known. So the exact kind of trick they're doing there, I don't know what time trialers are calling it. In my head, I call it a Frel trick because it wasn't Frel that discovered that trick, or Frel just discovered how to use that trick on Whistlestop Summit. I don't know. It's a shake trick. Anyway, it's when you trick or charge jump onto a rail and you land exactly on the rail, and the moment you land, you shake trick and you just get a launch. So one benefit here is you get to carry that boosted airtime for a long time. Otherwise, you can't trick much on that rail. But instead, we do get boosted airtime thanks to that that shake trick, and it barely lands you back on the rail. Really interesting stuff. I didn't even realize that rope was there. Just like, see the ropes above us right now? Sometimes you can land on it if you get a really bad version of Tarzan and you just go out of bounds. They're basically free roam rails, and we're actually using them in time trials now because one of them just happens to be not out of bounds. Nice. See what I mean with time trials have become their own thing? Dandelion Depths by Jack. This is improved by about 0.8. And if you watch me live stream, you may have seen me practice this a few times. There was a new technique that I am aware of. And I can't believe 6 months ago was so long ago that we didn't know about this back then. But there is a different path you can take here. Okay, going wide for coins on lap 1. So instead of taking the normal bottom path here, you can charge jump, and you have to do this just right. The upper path is very slow, but if you do this just right like that, and then hit the yellow barrier, but don't hit the next one, get a boosted charge jump, detach from that sign, trick off this part, trick on this thing, skip all the water. It saves, I think, about half a second, maybe a bit more. I see the ending has been optimized a bit more since the last time I saw it. It can be very risky to go for, because if you mess up a single thing, it doesn't save time anymore. Nice shortcut, love this one. If you mess up a little bit, you can also fall off the track. So, extremely risky. But let's see it again. So, the upper path is slow, but that's assuming you take the ground. Not only is taking this wall a much better line, but you're boosted and full speed at the whole time. Because when you're drifting, it's slower. Drifting is a bit slower than driving, and of course, walls are not drifting. They are driving. They're very, very fast. This is crazy. This trick at the end. Oh, not hitting the cone this time. That makes sense. That cone looks really tough to hit. But yeah, the hardest part about that you don't even get to see in this run is going through the yellow barrier. The yellow fence, when you hit it, it slows you down for a moment, and then if you don't hit it just quite right, it can launch you in a different direction. And especially with a low handling combo, it's very, very hard to react to which way you got sent and how to avoid the next barrier. Because if you hit the next barrier, you fall off. And if you go too far to the other side, trying to avoid the next barrier, you fall off. But this strategy can be consistent. I got it consistent, but it's just like, I don't know, it's not the most necessary thing for online. It's really fun though. You also take a completely different path from everyone else. So assuming you don't mess it up, it is safer. Because most people don't take that path. Oh, what? The boosted charge jump? That's weird. Why is that there? Wait, was that on the previous lap? Was I just yapping? I did not see that. Okay, nice run, nice run. Bone Cinema. Boo Cinema by Bone Cinema. J-Bone X. This is improved by about 0.2 seconds. I have seen some stuff. Okay, okay. Nice. I'm sure you used that camera for alignment purposes. We are once again going through destructible barriers. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so I think there's something... maybe on lap 2. Maybe on lap 2. I think there was something there, but... yeah, I think we're going to see a glider skip at the end as well. So this... Maybe I need to learn that. I think you can do that online, but I haven't really gotten around to it. Okay, so edge trick, glider skip. Nice, and then hop over that to get the boost panel there. Trick into boosted charge jump. And this part... Getting the wall detach into the finish line trick. Love that. Oh, that one looked really weird. And going for the rail here. Okay, so this, besides like a few optimizations. Let's see. Okay, here, we're getting it. Yes, a low air there. The boost panel sends you really high and it's really slow. So I guess we're not going for it on lap 1 because we want the 2 coins on the right. Okay, lap 2 a bit different here because the way that the cycle works is that it pushes you forward on that bit of conveyor. So you want to get down to the ground sooner. Instead of tricking, you just drive off. Plus, it puts you on a really good line. Okay, so another thing is that I haven't been paying too much attention to the players' stickers, but J-Bone here has the Boo Cinema sticker as well. So we saw that on Mario Bros. Circuit, Crown City, I don't know which other ones. The time trialers are making a pact to pick the correct stickers. Oh, we're going on the inside there, what? Even though it's going backwards? Interesting. And then here, I mean, that kind of makes sense. We're on it barely, and we're boosted too, so it's spending less time on it. Yeah, they're cool, like, small optimizations, but unfortunately, Boo Cinema doesn't have, like, that much. to play with in terms of like walls, rails, and stuff. So it's just tiny little bits every time, but it's still impressive. It still gets improved. Dry Bones Burnout by Kryn. This is improved by about 0.9. And I think the improvements must have happened shortly after the last time I reacted because, wow, 6 months is a long time ago. If this stuff hadn't been found yet. So yeah, we're doing like more tricks around this part. And then I think this next section is also a little bit different. Okay, that edge trick might have already been there. Mini turbo trick. Go for the wall, maybe on the next lap, maybe on the next lap. But then, okay, this wasn't even in the last time I reacted yet, but I've known about this. You can charge jump here, land on the little candle holder to skip that part. If you can do it online, also pretty safe because you don't deal with the rail where people can trap it. Okay, and then this part's different now too. Getting a trick into a charge jump, charging that in the lava. Man, that's really tough because when you charge jump, when you try to charge a charge jump in the lava, you have to be in a mushroom boost for the charge jump to even be charging. Otherwise, it completely cancels the charge jump and it won't charge. So, 3 head tricks, by the way, crazy. Are we going for the wall? No, we're not. Maybe lap 3. Also, like, you'll get a little bounce in the lava, which prevents you from charging during that time. And then a mushroom barely lasts longer than the charge jump takes to charge. So, you have to be super precise. And if you don't quite charge it up, you just fall into the lava. So, definitely faster. And you don't have to deal with a really weird trick on the off-road section. But if you fail it, it can be really bad. So, a bit risky to go for online, that version of the ending cut. Jumping off early, not only to get a boosted trick from that jump, but also to hit the other ramp to get an easier and boosted trick on the tiny little bump there. Are we going for this wall? We're really far right this time. Yes! That's all I wanted! I wanted you to go on the wall, Rocky Wrench. Thank you so much. Now, this one is really hard because you have to land super early. And see how the charge jump barely charges in time? Now, you cannot charge a charge jump from glider landing. You have to land from the glider and then hop to charge, so it gives you very little time to charge it. And gliders are very annoying because they have some scripted movement, so you may not even be landing early enough. It's just such a difficult thing to do. Moo Moo Meadows by Speezy, and I am once again happy to see Cow as the record holder on Moo Moo Meadows with an insane vehicle to go with it. So this is improved by only about 0.3 seconds from last time. Let's see if I can spot any changes here. I just know this is one of the most difficult ones. Not to say the other ones are easy, but Moo Moo Meadows has some insane stuff. We'll trick in some grass to get a boosted charge jump. The first grass touch is intentional to slow yourself down a bit. Otherwise, you can't boosted charge jump quite before the next part of grass. Okay, and this, we haven't used a mushroom yet, by the way. This is also shroomless with a boosted charge jump. I don't remember much about this world record. I don't know if we're going to have to deal with mole cycles. Okay, boosted charge jumps, boosted tricks. Tricks on the little thing. Left trick there. Oh, I think that's new. I don't think I've seen that before. Trick on the little destructible board so that you can have a boosted left trick and somehow still make it onto the next rail? That's insane. And landing on the fence there too. Wow. Oh. That might not be new. I just don't remember because that's not how I go for it online. Yup, hitting a bit of grass, but it's okay because the boosted charge jump is just so strong. There have been more developments in recent times regarding... Wait. How does that work? Why would that left trick send you forward? I'm confused. I wonder if it still has the increased left trick speed property. Probably not. I don't get it. We still have 2 mushrooms. Wait, I don't understand this mushroom cycle. Or this mushroom strategy. So we have... What's going on here? Oh, a better wall ride at the end. I wonder why that's a lap 3 exclusive. Don't look under Cow's skirt. Choco Mountain by 2, whose real name is 12th. Those are very different numbers. And this one is improved by about 0.3. Let's see if I can spot the difference. I heard that there may have been something different for the very beginning of lap 2 and 3. But that was just, you know, like here and there I had heard this. I don't know if this is actually true. Okay, so we're going for the shortcuts. I love this one. I find it much harder on low handling. So I've practiced this one. Like, the thing is... Oh, we're so close to the charging chuck. I practiced this one obviously with high handling, which is the typical online combo, and now when I see it with low handling, it's just incredible. But this next shortcut is actually easier with low handling. So you barely, yeah, I go so far to the side, but you don't turn that sharply. Oh, that looked really fast. Okay, nice. Skipped a lot of the dark chocolate there. If you're not aware, if you go into the dark chocolate, you fall off the track. It's like lava, except you don't actively take damage in it. You just quickly fall into the lava if you spend too much time in it. Or I should say dark chocolate. Or mud, who knows? Just because it's called Choco Mountain doesn't mean it's actually made of chocolate. This could be a lie. It is made by Morton Construction after all, and taken over by Charge and Chucks. We got chocolate on the tires too. Okay, so yeah, this one you normally have to go super wide to charge up this mini turbo, but a cool thing about this game is that every combo charges their mini turbo at the same rate. So when you hold inwards, like hold a sharp turn to charge that mini turbo, it actually charges equally fast on any combo, but the low handling combos don't turn as much. So if you don't want to turn as much, that's a good thing. Okay, and then this ending section is so slow, but it is the fastest way. Something a bit deceptive about this is that you really want to have mushrooms at the end of the track for if you're playing online, but just watching the time trial, you might think it's okay. Oh, air trick, I didn't notice that. Yeah, there was no ground trick, it was an air trick before that. I think because it already carries into the next ramp, but I don't know why that wasn't done on previous laps. Could that be the 0.3 time save? I'm just kidding. As expected, Toad's Factory is barely improved, only a 0.08 improvement, which is, I think, about 5 frames. But congrats to Arisugawa for getting this one, because, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't even time trial to get this amount in 6 months. Like, these players are just so incredible and dedicated, willing to push these small differences. I would get sick of it. And not like I would get bored of it. No, of course I wouldn't. It'd be so thrilling to get a record, but I mean, like, I wouldn't be able to persevere. It'd be too brutal, having to be perfect in all of these. I crashed out trying to get a day 1 world record. Like, imagine, it's too hard. It's too difficult. Oh, barely hitting that boost panel. That cycles like that. Could that be a pace lock? Because the left boost panel is really slow to go for that, and we're running out of time to hit that one. Wow. So then that would mean that if that is a pace lock, like I suspect, then that would mean lap 2 and 3 are the only times you could get time save. Lap 1 would just be locked in. You do whatever gets you to that boost panel when it's first revealed. This part, staying on the inside of the conveyor, so clean. That's so difficult. I don't think I've got it perfectly once in my life. I've gotten really good ones, but I don't think I've ever got it perfect to barely dodge the conveyor. Now, this strategy, I don't go for this one online with all these drifts to end up being able to have a better alignment to charge this Rainbow Mini Turbo. I can do it, but like you need a pretty specific cycle beforehand. And I found out it only saves like 0.1, so yeah, I may not go for that. So yeah, green path this time. Starting wide to take a good line. That's very important because the green path makes you go very fast. So taking that sharp turn is harder than usual. And if you do see a green path on the inside conveyor when you're playing online, make sure to start a little bit wide. Otherwise, you actually lose time later and people can pass you and hit you. Bowser's Castle by G Danzy. This is improved by about 0.8 since 6 months ago. And every time there's an improvement, I don't understand what I'm watching because this beginning shortcut just keeps changing. Okay, I think it hasn't changed this time. Good, finally. And then forward trick here. Yup, barely at the sign. The camera's even all weird. Man, there's got to be at least 10 ways to take that shortcut now, all with their different amounts of time saves and utility, but online I'm still mainly going for that one safe one with the, like, you stay on the rail the whole time. But yeah, this track has gone through a lot since the start. Oh, that's new. Oh, not going for the pole? But is that not off-road? How does that work? Okay, I'm curious to see it again on lap 2 and 3. Hopefully it's not something so hard that it's only on lap 1. Boosted charge jump. Nice. Okay, so this is looking the same. Yeah, the same. Thank goodness. I could never understand why that beginning shortcut keeps changing, and it would be like different on every lap too. But now I think it's the same. I don't know. It has the same entry. That's all I know. I haven't paid too much attention. Okay, let's see this. Yeah, going for the off-road. Wow. Oh! Okay, it doesn't matter that that's off-road, though, because you can't see it, but it's a boost panel. Okay, see this ramp? It's a boost panel. It's a secret boost panel. It's exactly the same as a boost panel. What? Missed trick? But that means the charge jump wasn't boosted either. Wait, no way? That's just a mistake, right? There's no way that was intentional. Wow, that lost a lot of time. I was not expecting this. Yet this is somehow still the world record. That's how impressive it is. So, is this like a new strategy or something? But yeah, you were carrying the boost panel onto this. Wait, hang on. Let me look at my other monitor. No, this has been a record for 25 days. Huh. Maybe that one Shroomless shortcut is so tough that missing this trick doesn't even matter? Like, no one else can beat it? That's crazy. I'm watching second place's record right now. It's Conk-Door. Surely Conk-Door doesn't have the ground speed stat. What is this? That's a different start, but I'm curious. Sorry, I don't even know who this is, by the way. I just know it's the person in second place. Oops, should have gotten world record to get featured in this video. You're not getting credited. But, okay, I want to see if they do this same... Oh, they do. Wow. Okay. But they're Conk-Door. So first place messed up a trick, and second place is Conk-Door? No wonder. No wonder that's the world record. Bowser's Castle's so messed up. Acorn Heights by Demon. This is improved by about 0.4. And I was watching some video on YouTube that spoiled this one for me. I was not trying to learn Acorn Heights strats. I already win every time, I don't need to, but... So this, double right trick, and then the rail corrects your alignment afterwards. That's interesting. I don't know how much time that saves, but it's similar, like we've seen this a few times, right? There was that one on DK Pass on the building rail. There was Wario Stadium as well. There may have been more, I don't remember. Oh, wall attach? Wow. Is that to help with low coins, or is that just faster? I've never seen that one before. Okay, I'm not spoiled then. And then this mushroom spot is so funny to me. It cuts off almost nothing, but somehow it's just the best mushroom spot on the track because you can take that big shortcut, shroomless. Oh wow, that one looked even faster on lap 2. That's crazy. I love that one. I wonder if it's consistent for online. Okay, getting the other coin this time, nice. And then this, we have enough coins this time, so surely... Oh no, the wall detached just faster. So, wall detaches like that one. I guess there's two kinds. Maybe you call that a wall clip. I don't know what's the terminology for this, but when you drive on a wall and then come off of it, that's called a wall detach. But this one is different. You just like touch it a little bit, and it doesn't even attach you in the first place. So it's not like a detach because you never attached it in the first place. And for some reason, they're just faster sometimes. And like even on some route shortcuts, they can be used because they have different properties than wall rides. They can be used for alignment purposes. So that's something I've looked into a lot more in this game recently, but this one, like a lot of the time they're just faster. Like they push you. It's weird. Oh, yeah. Another time it gets used, obviously, is like the ending wall ride of Sky High Sundae. There is a wall detach at the end instead of riding off the final wall. Interesting. This is so weird. Mario Circuits by Jack. This is improved by about 0.3, which is a lot for such a short track. By far the shortest track in the game. Even Koopa Troopa Beach is not even that close. Okay, so some snaking for coins. Charge jump here. One thing you'll notice a lot is their charge jumps get insane distance and height. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of random. It's like really difficult. And this part I remember, there's some snaking here. Yeah. But it's not because snaking is faster, it's because like the way you want to... See how this Rainbow Mini Turbo barely charges? I guess it actually is not barely, but I think the reason for doing some Mini Turbos back and forth is to get better alignment. You want to be aligned away from the turn, like facing right, so that the left turn is harder. Okay, getting a bit more air there off the boost because it's a boosted trick, so you can land later for some more airtime because the airtime is actually fast there. This is so funny. I always forget this is here. I don't really go for it online because it's really dangerous. People speed through you with stars and stuff, but like, it's just faster, which is so silly. And then ending shortcut. Oh! So in the previous version I had just seen like 2 minutes ago from 6 months ago, that one ended with a wall detach, kind of. It's like a really weird way to end. This one was much cleaner and got a trick. I don't know if that saves 0.3 seconds. It's probably just good driving elsewhere as well, but I didn't notice anything else too different. Peach Stadium by Jack. And fun fact, Jack is the only player at this moment to have 3 world records in this game. There are many players with 2 world records, being Alberto, Nugget, Optic, Speezy, Zay, and Arisugawa. But Jack, you're insane. And this is one of the most insane world records. It's been improved by 0.8. I don't know how that happened. Charge jump, that's new. Yeah, this is a thing I mentioned earlier on Guy Bazaar, but sometimes just getting... Oh, wait, this... Oh, I knew about that. That wasn't even in the previous world record from 6 months ago. I mean, 6 months is a long time, but I just thought I had already seen it before. Okay, and then here, wall. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I remember, Jack, I remember calling you crazy for, wait, what is this? That's faster? I remember calling you crazy for doing 3 edge tricks there, because I can't even do 1. But now we're doing 3 wall jumps. Did you know that was a wall? I didn't. I mean, I did. But before I first saw that strategy, which might have been even a couple of months ago, I didn't know that. So that's a boosted charge jump into getting a wall detach so you can get another trick. So that's just like a bunch of extra speed boost there. And this, honestly not that hard, but if you fall off, you fall off and it's really bad. That's crazy. Oh, an adjustment. There was an extra air trick that time, I think, in order to get back onto the wall. Wait, and we're not going for that pole thing this time. Is that pole thing really hard? That did not look like the thing that was hard, because I'm pretty sure we're going for that wall ride again. These like inner turn wall rides, well, we'll see it on Rainbow Road as well soon, but we saw it on this track. We also saw it on Great Question Block Ruins. It's so rare and it's so cool. You can actually do it on a lot of tracks, but usually they make you fall off. So it's cool that on Peach Stadium. By the way, I didn't even mention this shortcut because I've seen it before, but that shortcut's insane. I've done it once in my life. It took 1 hour. I did it once and I never did it again. I even forgot to hit record. It was really sad, actually. Okay, and then this is boosted airtime. We spent this whole time with 1 coin, by the way. Coins don't matter on this track. Don't matter in this game. Only in real life. And now we got Rainbow Road by Park Avenue. This is improved by 1.1 seconds compared to 6 months ago. And as we watch this... Wait, I think we're going to get the inner wall right here that I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know if there's any more on this track, though. So, I know it's been 6 months since I last reacted to world records, and a lot of viewers here are probably new to the game, right? That's half the lifespan of this game. So, if you are new here, don't feel ashamed if you haven't seen some of these shortcuts before. Maybe your favorite shortcut that you saw today, I didn't even react to it. Oops, my bad. But it's because I've seen it before, right? So a lot of the craziest shortcuts I may just take for granted at this point because I'm looking for new stuff. And I've been following all the developments in this game since the start, which has been such a privilege. It's been so fun. Edge trick. But if you're new here, or if you're not new, let me know what's the best shortcut that you've seen today, or the most surprising one that you didn't think would be possible, the one that you think is the coolest. It can be the coolest new one, or just the coolest one you haven't seen before. Because there's so much cool tech in this game. And one thing that's a bit of a shame is that the routes, or intermission tracks, don't get time trials. So people don't push them to the same extent. There are speedrunners who, you know, do tackle things relating to routes, such as Knockout Tour, or even other categories, but, you know, like, without a dedicated time trial mode, you can imagine that a lot of these discoveries would not only be harder to make, but people would be less incentivized, you know, rewarded for finding all these cool things. And so I think that would be really cool, but also, like, not, because some of the routes would just be holding A for a lot of it. Oh, we're going for this? Oh, that's such a clean line through. I don't remember it being that good before. I do know of really nice shortcut coming up after this cannon glider. I have seen some YouTube shorts about this. I don't know if it's in the world record. I haven't watched this, but given that this is improved by over a second, it probably is. All right, let's take a look. It should be after this shortcut here. If it's even here. Park Avenue, do you have what it takes? Here it is. Where are we going? The camera can't even adjust. So in case, like, if you want to go watch that back, there's an upper path there. And that's what we are. Oh, right. And then the Phantom trick. I haven't seen this in so long. Mini turbo trick to get boosted air time. So we can stack the boosted charge jump boost with that air time. See these little optimizations? I hope after today you can understand a little bit more about why these optimizations happen the way that they do. Like that mini turbo trick, who knows? Maybe it's not faster. If you couldn't, then thanks to that, get a boosted charge jump that perfectly lasts into the next ramp. I don't know, I'm just speculating. It's just like, these are the things you have to think about if you are top level in time trialing and you're trying to squeeze out tiny, tiny little time saves with all these edge tricks here. And I remember when edge tricks were just the craziest thing, because we hadn't seen them in previous games. Because in this game, like, the way that, the way that tricks work is not the same as in previous games. Usually in previous games, there would be specifically coded trickable regions where if you press R and you're in that region, you trick. But in this game, it's a little bit different. And pretty much everywhere is technically trickable. You just need to satisfy other conditions. The scap jump without the charge jump or the glider. You just have to satisfy other conditions like going into the air. And so if you trick the game into... literally trick the game into thinking you're going off the track. Sometimes you don't even go off the track. Oh, inner wall ride. Let's go. That's incredible. Yep. Another edge trick. Then yeah, the game will let you trick. And this is such a beautiful game. I would hate to time trial at a high level because that looks horrible. But I'm so happy I get to sit here and watch all of them and enjoy them with all of you. So, 1 year of Mario Kart World. It's been an incredible year of shortcuts, and if this is starting to feel too normal to you, go check out the first ever world record reaction from day one, because it's night and day. Nothing is even close to how it was before. But also, if you're watching these and the game seems too hard, for playing online, it's very different. I have videos explaining how to do the more normal, easy version of these shortcuts that you can consistently do online, and that will help you win a lot more. Mario Kart World is amazing, except when I get hit by a blue shell, then it sucks, and there's no blue shells in time trials, so I can see why all these crazy people keep playing this game mode.